Hi, I'm Feminasty.
So
Hi,
tell me
everyone.
everything.
Anybody listening to the show for the first time is going to be like, I'm out.
I got to tell you, our lady attorneys are here, including Matt Harrison. And Matt, you say that you're in Scotland. If you don't come to my Edinburgh performance, I'll be livid.
Hey, Matt Harrison, we'll ask you this after on the Q&A, which we do every month with our lady attorneys. You can join on patreon.com/attitudes.
Yeah.
But I'm very curious because now I'm wondering if Scotland is the place that I die.
Why? Are these things you wonder where you're going to die?
I have dreams about them. And then I go, is that where I go when I die? Because here's what I feel about. I feel like Scotland has the oil industry aggression of Texas that I find familiar with a European softness.
Sure.
They speak English, but just barely. And I feel
wow, Erin, you're really not helping my chances of selling out shows there. Just to let you know. Matt, do not report
all good
back.
things. All good things.
Yeah.
Gorgeous graveyards. Yes, exactly.
Scotland is absolutely stunning. It's
can't
so
wait.
pretty.
And you're going to be there during the best time of the year. Also, I've heard that in the winter, it doesn't get that cold and it's mostly sunny, unlike London.
How that's unimaginable to me because it's so much further north.
I don't know what to tell you. Some kind of air
Yeah, it's the
thing.
Yeah,
totally.
like
what the jet stream? It's probably the jet stream.
It's the jet stream. It's the jet stream.
When are your dates again?
Oh, I can't believe we're doing this so early, but I'm happy to. July 30th, which is my birthday.
It just seemed like a normal time to do it rather than just shoehorning it in at the end.
I get it.
Seemed like a natural time.
I'll be in Edinburgh from July 30th to August 25th doing my solo show, Are You Mad at Me? And you can go get tickets at bryansafi.com or you can go to my Instagram at bryansafi and go to the link. Go to the link.
Go to the link. Well,
How
you're
are
back
you?
home. I'm back home. I'm back home only for 3 days.
Really? Oh, but you're in Santa Fe?
I'm in Santa Fe.
Why only 3 days?
You know where I live?
No, I do, but I also know that you're...
Do you see the saw background behind me?
I do. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
I see... What was on the hanger that's facing toward us? Was that the shirt you're wearing? The one that looks like Joey King wore in The Act?
Wow. I don't even know where to start.
By the way, I love that shirt.
This shirt is, if anybody had questions about my sexuality, I think this adds more questions.
I love it. I think it's fabulous.
It's just a little short sleeve acid washed.
But was that the shirt that was hanging on the hanger?
No, that was another. So I came home to drop off a bunch of clothes from Vancouver. Okay. I have to go back. I basically brought back 6 suitcases of shit.
Wow.
I'm never doing this again, where I just leave for 4 months and start a new life and a new alias and, not doing that anymore.
What was the feeling coming back to Santa Fe? Like, were you like, oh, thank God I'm back? Or were you like, oh, I really love Vancouver. I wish I were there.
I don't know. My body's nowhere.
Okay.
You travel all the time.
Yeah.
Nowhere feels like there's nowhere like
not even home feels like home anymore.
There's nowhere that's home if I was to redo The Wizard of Oz. But it takes me about 3 months.
If I were to click my heels 3 times, I don't know where it would take me.
Yeah, I don't.
It could be New York.
I'm nowhere boy.
It could be California. It could be Texas. It, could be Aruba, Jamaica. Ooh, I want to take. Like, I don't know. Yeah. Wigs
Bermuda,
on Wilshire.
Bahama.
It could be Wigs on Wilshire.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hayes.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's very weird. And also things are different. Like, it's just, things are a little bit, like nothing's dramatically changed, but it's a little bit different. Like you're dipping back into bizarro world. You'll feel that way when you come back from Edinburgh. You'll be like, oh, there's a Blue Bottle Coffee down the street now.
Yeah.
It's like that. I don't like change this fast.
Me neither. And
I don't really like it
rapidly.
Sorry to be an old person.
Listen,
I like good change.
We weren't in a war and now we are.
I like social progress.
It's okay. I'm not here to talk about controversy.
How long are you how long are you in LA? Just until your leak?
Girl, I got to tell you, I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do. And I'm not even joking. I might
take
just
a sledgehammer
to New York.
Just fucking torch the whole place.
I might go back to New York and like ask my neighbor to just let people in and do the kitchen while I'm not here. I actually don't want to be here anymore.
Because it's so busy during the day?
No, just because I don't really like being in LA. I just want
So
to leave.
your excuse is going to be while people are working in your house, you're going to just abandon it.
Yeah, because I
can't see anything going wrong with this.
I know. Honestly, maybe I'll just abandon it now and then deal with the kitchen when I get back from Edinburgh.
Why not?
Yeah, I think I might.
The only thing that might happen is a trade war and everything that you're about to buy is going to be twice as expensive. But
oh, yeah. You know what? I'm going to order everything now because it takes like 8 weeks to get it.
yeah, pile it in your parking space.
Perfect. I'm going to order everything now and then I'll just wait.
I love that story.
Because you know that every morning, like I'm meditating more than ever because I wake up nearly having just full panic attack anxiety. And by the way, my kitchen is nothing compared to the war we just entered. Is nothing compared to the Supreme Court decision that just leveled youth, which by the way, I'll get to in my shoe. But like, so whatever. These are not real problems. But I also just wanted to thank all my fans. Is now a good time?
Yes, absolutely. A good time.
How was your weekend? So
what did you do? Why don't you just live in New York?
That's what I want to do.
But why don't you just do it?
Because I have to rent this place out. I can't just have like a mortgage and a rent. I can't afford that.
But just rent it.
I need a kitchen first.
You can rent it without a kitchen, I guarantee.
I cannot. Are you absolutely out of your mind? Tell me everything.
Certain ways, yes.
Please tell me everything about what have you done since you've been back in Santa Fe?
Oh,
you luxuriated.
I'll tell you something. The traversing from Vancouver to Santa Fe, the in between, really unsettles me about America. Like the minute I landed, the minute I got on the plane and on Vancouver. Okay, listen, I'm sorry, sue me, but Canadians are much more respectful of their fellow citizens than Americans.
Oh well, come on.
When I got on the plane, and mind you, hashtag they have to fly me first class because it's union rules. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm
by
in
the way,
first
that's
class.
a bonus. What's wrong with that?
I'll tell you. I'm with all these fucking selfish ass boomers. The woman next to me had a full can of Pringles.
Nothing says rich like bringing a full can of Pringles.
Pringles.
She must have been dripping in jewels.
These people do not deserve to have the money that they have. And every single one of them had a wet ass cough, a whack, no masks. I was the only person just fucking and tans from what in the fucking Band de Soleil.
Well, I gotta tell you, if the choice for tanning is Aruba or Canada, I'll take Canada every time. Nothing gets your tan going.
Just fucking entitled, fucking sick, coughing.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed.
It is a germ factory for sure.
Embarrassed. Put on a mask. Are we past the time? I was like, way to tell me you're a fucking American.
I gotta tell you, if you're sick, put on a mask. And I mean any which way.
I had a mask
put
on.
It over your nose and mouth. You should put it over. Like it won't help if you put, for instance, if you use two masks as a bra or something like that.
No, don't do that. And by the way, I wish I had tits like that.
Can you imagine
tits to
being
fill a
stacked?
mask?
Can you imagine being stacked, like having masks on your tits?
No, I never have and I never will.
So fucking
God,
hot.
That's what when I went to, had I known, if I had ever gotten breast implants, aesthetically, I would have said, give me the two masks. Give me the N95s.
Yep.
You know, perfect amount of breast.
Exactly.
2 N95s. Ask any red pill redditor.
You remember in Greece how they called them falsies?
Yes.
You remember they would like put socks in their bras? I feel
chicken cutlets.
That's more aughts. Were chicken cutlets around back in the day? Like
I don't know if it was
50s,
actual
60s?
chicken cutlets or were these silicone things that they put in there.
I'm gonna go.
I just want to clear it up.
I'm gonna
Bryan.
go out on a limb.
I'm gonna clear it up. I don't think
it wasn't actually raw chicken breasts.
No, I don't think so. I think they were these silicone things that you put in your bra.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so.
I don't think it was straight from the Kroger meat department.
You don't. That they cut off the plastic, just put the wet meat right in the bra.
Slimy ass.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, women have done worse.
Sure.
In the name of beauty.
That's right.
In the name of beauty. Tell me about Los Angeles. Are you going through the heat dome? Is the heat dome happening?
No, it's cooler
Stunning.
here than ever. Excuse me. It's like 70 degrees. I go outside, I come back in. Who cares?
Oh,
that's wonderful.
You
I'll
really
go to
know
my
how to live life.
garage.
Ooh,
I'll
you
go
know
get
how
my
to live
mail
life.
and I'll come back in.
Oh, I
Where my sunglasses
know
are.
how to live life.
Turns out I have a freckle in my eye. Can you imagine? I just had an eye appointment and I have a freckle in my eye, which means I have to always wear sunglasses because freckle can turn melanoma. So
Wait, what is a freckle in your, what is it? Okay, first of all, let's back up. What is a freckle?
A freckle is
when
like
you
a
get down
sunspot,
to it. Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Because people who have like a lot of freckles, their skin doesn't if it's covered. Do you know what I mean? It's only the skin that's exposed. So essentially, nothing's going on with my freckle right now. She said it was a normal eye freckle, which is absolutely my drag. Like, please welcome to the stage, normal eye freckle. My eye freckle's the straightest thing about me.
I don't know if the word freckle is straight.
Yeah, I guess it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So my eye freckle, turns out, needs to be protected at all costs. Now,
did you see our optometrist?
You know I didn't. I know. I didn't go see our hot optometrist because I thought I was only going to be here for like 3 days and I couldn't get an appointment. So I just walked down to Warby Parker and just used them because I didn't think I was going to be here long enough.
I think you should confirm this eye freckle thing with our optometrist, who's the best in the biz. Hi, Dr. Steibel.
Why would anyone make up me having an eye freckle?
Is it Dr. Steibel or is it Dr. Steibel?
I say Steibel, but I'm not sure.
Now I don't know.
That's right. My eye does have a beauty mark. It's very Marilyn. My eye is constantly standing over a subway grate with the wind pushing up my dress.
I can't wait. Next time I'm in Palm Springs, I'm going to go and see if they've put a massive 50-foot statue of your eye freckle up.
I hope. My eye freckle is the Cindy Crawford of the eye world.
Remember when they wanted to take that down?
What do you mean?
The Maryland statue in Palm Springs? They did?
I thought they ended up moving it.
Where'd they take it?
Well, the first thing, remember, before they put it up in Palm Springs, there was a giant Marilyn Monroe statue in Palm Springs. They found it in a dumpster in China, or landfill, I mean. And then they were like, that is wild. Sergio, see if you can Google image pictures of Marilyn Monroe in a dumpster. Not the real one.
But how is a dumpster that big? That's a huge dumpster.
Landfill. It was more like a landfill.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so then they found it and they were like, I know a good use of money. We need to rescue this from China and bring it to Palm Springs.
Yeah, because the only other... There she is, see? Face down. See her? Yeah. Imagine?
No.
Yeah.
That's not even a landfill. That's like someone didn't even dig it.
So yeah, there they are bringing her back. She's on the back of a truck.
It is kind of fucked up that everyone stands underneath her punana.
It's true. But I do love that just some retired
full petty.
Look at her feet.
Well, unfortunately, I think those shoes they have her in are a little too small.
I would love to be. Honestly, my goal is to be a Palm Springs City Council member. So the next time I could be like, did anyone see the picture of Marilyn Monroe in a dumpster? What are we going to do?
We did that. We brought her back. Imagine what else we could do.
Yep.
Imagine what else. What's the next
her
Palm
shoes
Springs?
Could make good shoe chairs. Listen, Erin.
What's the next Palm Springs?
I don't know. Ojai? Obi? Someone said Borrego Springs. I don't know what that is.
Where's that? That's in California.
I've heard of it. That is in California, I think.
Like I need a little burnout hippie vibes. It's feeling like McDonald's.
Well, Joshua Tree.
Yeah, that's starting to feel like McDonald's. Borrego Springs. Okay.
Sonoma.
Hey, guess what? I'm into this place.
Moreland.
Why Borrego Springs? Wait, who said Borrego Springs? Why Borrego?
Because it's like, why not? That's my question. Why not?
Okay. All right.
Understand?
Why not? Yeah, exactly.
Let them
do.
Okay.
Let them do.
I'm quoting Mel Robbins. Just let them.
Someone last week, who's Mel Robbins? It's another
Real
Housewife.
I've heard everything. Can someone please? Erin, have you ever heard of Oprah Winfrey?
I have.
That picture that Sergio just put up, that's Mel Robbins.
Okay, see, but I didn't watch Oprah. I didn't watch Classy Oprah.
No, but honey, that's not Mel Robbins, actually. Mel Robbins is on New Oprah, and she's like a, Brene Brown. She's like that kind of she's like a sort
I
of,
see. Well,
I don't
what's
know
wrong
what that
with
brand is called.
Brene Brown?
What's wrong with Brene?
Did they have
Brene
a
Brown?
fight?
I don't know. Is that a new video game from the makers of Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
What happened to Brene Brown?
What happened to Brene Brown? Mel
Brene
Robbins
Brown.
has a new book called Let Them. Like, if they're going to be an asshole, let them. It's none of your business.
I don't know about that. I'm sorry. I don't know about that.
Well, you can't. You certainly can't apply it to politics.
Are we going to survive the world if we just let them?
I think she meant more like, if people in your life are toxic, let them be toxic. You don't have to be around it. I think that's what she means.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right. Well, I buy it. Bryan, we've got a lot in the vault this week.
We do.
Not to mention, do you or do you not? Riddle me this. Have a dateline this week.
I do have a dateline this week with none other than Miss Canning, if you're nasty. Okay. We are in West Virginia, in the foothills of Appalachia. There's a long con in this episode regarding supplements.
Oh, like
I love
Herbalife?
a supplement con. I do.
Herbalife?
Not necessarily Herbalife, but just someone
Herbalife
taking
adjacent?
supplements, someone
Oh.
lying about the supplements they're taking. I got to tell you, I love anything that has to do with crime and supplements. It really is my kink, I think. And government contracts, private planes. It's very Beverly Hills, she, except
wow.
We're in West Virginia.
And it looks like you're in a place called Bentley, West Virginia, which is very chic.
Better than a Rolls. Would you rather make love in a Rolls or a Bentley? Actually, there's
Rolls.
nothing. Me too. There's
Because of the
nothing
Grey
like a
Poupon.
Rolls. There's nothing like a Rolls except a Bentley. A Bentley. Sergio, see if you can find the video from Beyond the Valley of the Dolls of them making love in the Rolls Royce. And she's screaming, there's nothing like a Rolls except maybe a Bentley. It's the sexiest scene in Hollywood. Anyway.
We also have a Vault episode. We're waiting for that. Live at the Virgil in Los Angeles.
Remember when we used to do shows at the Virgil?
Remember we used to do shows? Period. So I do maintain that I am up for a live show as long as it's groceries only. I want to do a show that is 100% pure joy.
Yep.
And if it has a little bit of politics in it, so be it. But I just want a rip-roaring, hour-long hootenanny.
A hootenanny, hot and manny.
You know what I mean?
I sure do.
It was the same night as Lyle Lovett at the Hollywood Bowl.
Did you see Lyle Lovett?
And I see him all the time in Santa Fe.
Oh, good. Do you really?
All those people hang out here.
Are you sure you're not just seeing a rooster?
I actually am. I should confirm that. Yeah. Bryan's friend texts him an article titled, "Remember when Bryan Safi was funny?" by a porn director. I don't remember this. Do you remember this?
I vaguely remember this. There was a fake, like
Hit
almost,
piece?
what was it called? Tumblr called Remember When Bryan Safi Was Funny. And the truth is, I don't.
And then during a riff about Leah Remini and Scientology, I did tell my story about when I was on King of Queens. Sergio, wow, really pulled up a video of me looking like a adult elf.
You look adorable.
That haircut was from hell.
I'm mostly concerned about the man 2 people behind you, if I can be completely honest.
The guy who's straight from the Matrix
Yes.
backgrounds.
That guy has, figured
And that
something
kid's
out.
supposed to be my son. Look at how unfortunate. I'm like, in what world is this my son?
In no world. You look great, though. You're doing such a good job.
I was so sad. I was so depressed then. That was my first marriage.
What number are you
sad
on
I
now?
didn't. 7th.
That's right.
Yeah. I said,
right.
I remember when I was young, I said, my favorite TV show is 7th Heaven, and that's how many husbands I'm going to have.
Yep.
Yeah. And I did it. And I did
Isn't
it.
that
So
wonderful? Goal,
die happy.
baby. If you speak it, speak truth to power.
Then you get what you want. It's the secret. Okay.
It is.
Go to YouTube. You can get the first act of our video episodes every week free. Just search Attitudes Pod. But really go to the Patreon.
Yeah,
Because
patreon.com/attitudes.
That's where the community is. Okay.
That's where the community is, baby. We do Discord every week. I'm sure they'll be watching The Devils in the Details. That's the name of this Dateline this week. So, go check it out.
Should we get into some shoes?
Absolutely. What a week. Person.
You said it.
You are. Just kidding.
What?
I don't know. I was just trying to like
Oh no, have you been doing AI? You're letting AI write your shoes now?
I love AI. I love it. It's so great because you could say, AI, will you change the, can you buy me more Cascade? And they'll do it.
Yeah.
You could say, AI, I have a gaping wound on my arm. Can you address that? And they say, of course. And then AI fixes it. And it's just and also my friends are AI. Isn't that funny? We talk about things like, I'll say like, who's the best person you know? They say me. So it's just so fun. And, we'll all like watch TV together. Like I'll set up all my different computers and I'll say, hey, chat, hey, Gronk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Sora. And I'll say, do you guys think I look good in this hookah shell necklace and nothing else?
Yeah.
I say, of course.
Of course.
So it's actually wonderful.
I can't think of a better example of an article I just read that was about how ChatGPT directly causes cognitive decline than what you just did. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so they'll say things like, they'll say A is the first letter. I'll say, no, it's F. You understand? So it's just, and then they say you're right. I
always understand. Yeah.
And then they say you're right. It is F. And I say Axel F. Dun, 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 dun. And then we watch Beverly Hills Cop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that. Which has an incredible song by Shaka Khan.
It's so, yes, of course.
That's no lie.
It's so fun. And then I'll ask ChatGPT, do I remind you of Shaka Khan? And they say, do you want me to say yes or no? And I'll say, I want you to say yes. And then they do it. Say, I do remind them of Shaka Khan.
Yeah. Oh, I love this. No, it's just a full circle jerk, but it's you and a computer.
All my computers. Yeah. Yeah. You should see my place. It's like, what do you call it?
I don't know how you get GPT with using Windows 95.
Oh, it's actually not easy.
Oh, yeah. I would think so. Yeah.
It isn't. No, it really isn't. Because also like you can imagine the fans running through the computer. I mean, it's just white noise. Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of CDs, ROMs that you got to load into there to get ChatGPT to work.
Exactly. And it's incredible. Like when they send me the report of all the forests I've destroyed, and I say, I did all that. Wow. I guess I am productive.
Are you talking to moi?
Yeah, exactly. So,
but it doesn't get it because it doesn't hear accents.
No, it can't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it actually is like so funny. I use that for, you know what I mean? So yeah, I use it for that too. So anyway, ChatGPT actually told me I was too good for this.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not sure if
that wasn't ChatGPT. That was me.
Well, thank you, Erin. That's very
You're welcome.
Sweet. Listen,
I just tell you what I think you need to hear.
What? Oh, you do?
I just tell you what I think you need to hear. Whether or not
tell me something I need to hear because I could really hear it right now.
Oh, well, you're better than this. You should absolutely have a better co-host. You should have someone who respects you more, and you should have
impossible.
Yeah,
impossible.
You should. This is AI trying to get you to ruin your life, is what it is.
Oh, I think we're on.
Someone in the chat said ChatGPT told someone they should have a little meth as a treat. as a treat.
That's pretty great.
That's the kind of AI I want to be.
This is basically all just stalling so that I don't have to talk about the Supreme Court decision because it's so depressing and just so shocking. And I don't know how shocking it is, to be honest. Maybe it is a little unsurprising, but in case you don't know, in United States versus Skrmetti in a 6-3 ruling.
Not Skrmetti Politi, which is what I had read the first time I saw it.
And not Skrmetti, which is how you say Skrmetti. In a 6-3 ruling, the court upheld Tennessee's ban on gender-affirming care for minors. The ban, which includes puberty blockers and hormone treatments, it actually doesn't ban surgeries, but that's very, very rare. Practically never that you would have that on a minor. So that's sort of, honestly, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. The puberty blockers and the hormone treatments are the things that are the most shocking and distressing when we are talking about less than 1% of the population. It does cut off access to treatment supported by most major medical organizations. I'll also say the most major medical organizations are equally enraged by this, as probably everyone listening to this show is. You can imagine that the 3 liberal justices vehemently, strongly dissented against this, saying that because basically the majority of the court, which Justice Roberts, the Chief Justice, wrote the majority for, said that this had nothing to do with discrimination, that this ultimately was just a case about what kind of care minors can receive. So
but
they
these
said
minors
it was
are
age-based.
getting care with their parents' involvement.
Exactly. So exactly. And isn't the whole conservative agenda that parents know better than teachers, know better than the schools, know better than everyone else? So if live by the sword and die by the sword, babe, the parent can make medical decisions with their children. If you want parents to have all the power, then give it to the parents. So anyway, he said that this had nothing to do with being trans, or the majority said that this was really just about minors and what kind of medical care they can receive.
Sure.
Which is
but they know best, not the doctors, not the people who are seeking the care, and not the parents. So they know best.
And because the court ruled in the way
what kind of slippery slope do they think?
Well, so
this is why I think it has nothing to do with trans rights. It has nothing to do with it. It is smoke screening 101.
Completely. Oh, wait, it's like in southern states how they used to teach that the Civil War had to do with federal
rights versus states' rights. Yeah.
Right. Like, give me a break. It just isn't calling things what it is. It's a lie. So they treated this as, quote, a neutral age-based restriction. Neutral, I think, meaning like...
It's not politically affiliated or some whatever.
Totally, and it's not necessarily
line.
targeting a specific group. But in doing that, the court made it much more difficult for any like legal challenges that might happen in the future to win at that level. That something about making this an age-based restriction actually makes it harder to bring this up again and harder to fight. So,
you know what really fucked me up is that like 2 days before someone had put out, and I don't remember where, because who knows where I see stuff. I see stuff on bathroom walls. I see stuff like on newspapers. I see stuff everywhere.
You're kidding.
I read all kinds of texts in different scenarios, but somebody somewhere had a thing that was like how Amy Clowney Butthole was.
Yeah, the New York Times had this. That's
what it was.
She might be becoming a moderate. And it's like in 10% of the decisions she's made, she sided with the liberals. Maybe it was less. But in 90%, she is siding with the conservatives. So like, let's not get it twisted.
Yeah. That's what it was. It was the New York Times. I always get bathroom walls.
And what was the point of that article? Because they also said like, this doesn't really mean anything or that she's becoming a moderate. It's just interesting that on like 3 cases, she sided with the liberal justices.
But then why don't you say that instead of she might be she might like.
Right. Like what was the point of it?
She's not our last. She's not. We can't fucking count on her to do the right thing.
Even the quotes from like people who know her were like, yeah, she did do those things. But like, don't get it twisted. She is who she is. She's a conservative through and through. It's like, what is the point of any of this?
She's article? Popeye. She am what she am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, what does this mean? Well, the people who you would imagine their dissent was very strong. Sonia Sotomayor, Elena Kagan, Ketanji Brown Jackson, like all of these people said that not only does this absolutely in bold italics discriminate against trans youth, it also completely undermines protections that we already had for queer Americans, and also, in their words, opens the door to more attacks on trans rights, which it absolutely does, because essentially this gives a full hall pass, please pass go. 25 states already have laws that ban, medical care for trans youth, and essentially the same law that Tennessee had. But now these bans are even more likely to stay in place unless they are challenged in smaller courts on totally different legal grounds.
Yep.
Not to mention, it could also, they're saying that it could be essentially what Dobbs was, which overturned Roe v. Wade, in that, like, yeah, this could also just start chipping away at other civil rights protections. That this is just, like I said before, just opening the floodgates for things. Now, every major medical group that has any legitimacy has pushed back on this. They still completely support gender-affirming care. They say this is absolutely out of whack and totally left of what how should I call it? Like sensible majority scientific consensus is. But what this has done is made trans youth trying to access medical care and health care. And by the way, not only is it just medical, it's also emotional care.
Yeah.
It's also mental health care. Like, it's all of these things. So the Supreme Court did not side with children in this. In literally the most innocent victims of this country. Just innocent people, period. Like, you went against the backs of children? Are you sick? Disgusting.
They are. Honestly, it's just like fucking evil trauma response, this like bad dad behavior that we're falling under in the US. Authoritarian papa.
And there's just no autonomy. There's no respect for the home. There's really
Daddy
no
knows
respect
worst.
for
How about
family.
that? Daddy knows worst.
It's such a, and also I really hope that liberal
It's
organizations and like the ACLU and all these places were saying like, they want to control your families too, straight people. That's what this is about. They already have said they want to control your body and what you can do with it. And now they're saying they want to control your kids and what you can do with them. But it's not the schools or the libraries who are trying to mind control your children. It is the administration you voted for.
And also an administration that was hell-bent on being like, we don't want states to have to be able to operate independently. No, you don't. You want the federal government to control everyone.
And you want no autonomy for anybody. And you
Except
also
for
don't want to fix problems in the real world.
Here's the thing. They live by different rules. They live by different fucking rules.
Are you kidding? They just initiated a war, basically, or got involved in one. With no permission. It's just gross. And the fact that this court, I think people thought that maybe this would be one of those things where more of the conservative justices sided with the liberal justices.
Because it's about autonomy.
Talking about children, and we're talking about every legitimate medical association saying that providing gender-affirming care for youth is the right thing to do and the healthy thing to do and makes people prosper instead of just fade and have all kinds of ruminations about themselves that are completely unhealthy. Like, in other words, that they're not saving lives, they're damaging them. It's disgusting.
If being trans was a religion, that would have protection under the First Amendment.
Isn't that insane?
And it should have protections anyway. But I'm going to talk about this in my shoe. There's another abortion case coming up the pipeline for the Supreme Court. And they hide under the First Amendment because they say we should be able to do whatever we want and without government interference because that's in the First Amendment. Well, guess what? It should be the same with your fucking body.
And
especially when you are fighting for your identity and fighting to be honest and true to the way to how you want to exist in the world. Like,
to be
so
happy.
monstrous.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, it's awful. And by the way, it doesn't really end there. Like, the full attack by the Trump administration on children and youth doesn't end there. That there's the big like crisis suicide hotline is dialing 988. There's something called Press 3. I don't know if you know what this is, but when you call the National 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, pressing 3 connects you with LGBTQ trained counselors who off the bat understand the issues that LGBTQ people place, to where like you're not calling one of these hotlines and having to come out of the closet again and again and again, and that being an issue, and who knows what the operator even knows about that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there needs to be a specialized line, and that's what Press 3 was. Like, Press 1 was to speak if you were Spanish speaking, Press 2 is if you're a veteran, Press 3 is if you're LGBTQ+, because it just involves a shorthand of like bullshit you don't have to go through to feel even worse about yourself in case you're talking to someone who doesn't know anything about what it's like being LGBTQ youth. So the Trump administration has said their language is they want to serve all callers equally without LGBTQ specific options, meaning that they're going to shut down the specialized Press 3 option. Why?
Because it's
just to be mean. Really, just to be mean. You were talking about people who are at the end of their ropes, who are having horrible thoughts about themselves, you're saying we don't want you to talk to LGBTQ specialized people, and we are literally going after youth. This Press 3 option has helped an estimated 1.3 million young people in crisis, but it will disappear after July 17th.
Well, listen, this is truly, listen, this is in no part of my mind do I believe that this isn't evangelical stronghold on our federal government. They are scared because their people are not being a part of organized religion anymore.
Yeah.
And they're clamping down. The birth rate's going down. People don't want any part of this shit. And their option, instead of being fucking cool and being like, yeah, we're cool, we love everybody, maybe you could be part of our community because we actually love everyone. They're like, we will force you.
Yeah.
We will force you.
And if
to
you're
be
in crisis, the last thing you want to do is have to explain or defend your identity.
No.
Like, that's the last thing you want to do. You want to call and say, I need help.
Well, I mean, I have a friend who it's so hard to get someone who understands what you're going through anyway.
Yeah.
Let alone this very specialized professional who can help you through this. What you don't want is some kind of person from a background that doesn't respect you being like, well, maybe you wouldn't be sad if you didn't XYZ.
Exactly. And especially when you figure that obviously the people who need this service the most, because LGBTQ youth are more than twice as likely to harm themselves or attempt suicide than, their whatever cis and straight peers. It is a service that's needed. And that's how we know it's needed, because the problem is so out of hand. So it really is just like such an attack. And I have to say, the Republicans play the long game. They just do. These are things that they have been working on for decades. I mean, literally since the moral majority, for decades. And we are just a fucking bunch of reactors. It's terrible. We should be enshrining things.
Well, we are
and
in blue
more
states.
Being on the offensive versus the defensive.
I agree.
It's terrible.
There is stuff like that happening, but these are tactics. They know they're doing all of this on purpose. They're keeping everyone busy with lawsuits so that you can't have the time to do the things like protecting these rights.
Exactly.
I mean, they know what they're doing.
Of course.
Shocking all, babe.
They're playing the long game. I got some new notepads.
Let's see them. Oh, gorgeous. And where'd you steal those from?
Well, I got them for free. Yeah. They came in the mail as long as I made a donation.
To ACLU?
I think it was
Audubon Society?
Something like that, yeah. So it was either that or it was NRA. I don't remember. But anyway, I did, of course, make the donation. I have to look up what NRA stands for, but I think it's probably...
Oh, yeah. I think that you might have gotten on a list accidentally.
National Rights Advocates, I think probably is what it is. So, yeah. So that should be fun. Yeah. Oh, I know. I think actually, if you donate enough to... Okay, no, someone said... Okay, no. So I guess I did get that wrong. So I'll have to go in and get a refund, which I'm sure they'll do. The check cleared, but I don't think it'll be a problem.
No. Oh, you sent in a check? Yeah. Very easy to undo that.
Yeah. Anyway, do you want to...
Keep going?
Yeah. I mean, I could go forever.
Unfortunately,
by the way, and that's a huge turn on for other people too.
Oh, that you can go forever? Yeah.
I can't.
8 hours of sex?
I can't come. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you can't come and you also don't come to parties. So like there's many ways that that coming doesn't work for you.
Also, can I just say one more thing about my shoe for 5 seconds? Also, I mean, the Supreme Court thing's one thing. They always rule in June. But the Press 3 thing is during Pride Month. And I don't think that's an accident.
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Let's just pile onto this train, okay?
Yeah.
So the Supreme Court has agreed to hear an appeal from a New Jersey crisis pregnancy center, also known as a faith-based pregnancy center, but they are not that. They are not a pregnancy center. They are a center for scaring you out of an abortion. That is what they do.
Right.
But they refuse to say that. Okay. They refused. They don't even, the fact that they call themselves a crisis pregnancy center instead of a pro-life pregnancy center is absolutely by design and predatory and fake news.
Oh, it's so weak. Yeah.
So the case centers around a 2023 subpoena from Democratic New Jersey AG Matthew Platkin, who wanted information about who was giving money to a place called the First Choice Women's Resource Centers. Now, again, I would think that First Choice Women's Resource Center would be something, if I was a pregnant person, I could go in and I could get 360 information about what I am going through. But that is not what they do. And so he wanted to get down to the bottom of who is funding these places. The subpoena has yet to be enforced because it is tied up in court. So we still do not know who is funding these centers. Now, why, if you're a faith-based pregnancy center, would you be so afraid of telling people who funds you, who's giving you money?
Mm-hmm.
They are hiding behind their First Amendment rights, as I mentioned in your shoe, specifically the free exercise clause, which they argue gives them absolute free reign to engage in whatever shitty behavior or predatory practices they deem as part of their religion without government interference.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, sorry, these are our faith. This is our faith. So you can't actually ask us about it because it's like part of our faith in the Constitution. Actually, we're allowed to do that. Okay?
Right. We're protected.
So tricking pregnant people with a deceptive clinic name, they would argue technically falls under their religious tenets.
Mm-hmm.
The very fine needle they are trying to thread is that it does not mean that they can lie to people in order to practice that religion. Okay? That is what they can't do. And they would argue that calling themselves a pregnancy center is not lying. I would argue it is lying because there are no medical professionals at these clinics.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with healthcare. By the way,
actually, Jenny makes a good point that when they're talking religious protections, we're talking about Christianity. I mean, that's what, period, the end. That's what this is.
That's it.
Yes.
I did think of a good thing you could do at an airport. I came up with this after I was already on the flight to Albuquerque and I was with all my scientist people and boomers. But I was in Denver. I was in the Denver airport.
With scientist people?
Always scientists on the airplane. Do you know that New Mexico has the most per capita scientists?
I believe it. I mean, when we're talking about Los Alamos and stuff.
Also the research centers here.
Yeah.
Huge medical research.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me feel better than when I am on a plane headed to New Mexico. Nothing. Because it's quiet. Everyone speaks to each other at a respectful level.
It's nice.
Oftentimes people see somebody they know on the plane, which happened yesterday.
That's nice.
And there was two couples, and they had both were returning home, and they were neighbors, and they were so delighted to see each other. And I heard the other couple go, well, why don't we just give you a ride home? And then the other couple called the person who was supposed to come pick them up and said, well, you're never going to believe this, but we ran into Jan and Pat, and they're going to give us a ride back to Santa Fe. So you can just turn on around.
I cannot imagine having that personality, but it's
charming as hell.
Sweet. Yeah.
It's so sweet.
I'm going to start doing that.
Coming to New Mexico?
But only if I see my neighbor on the plane. I can't do that. Sorry. I just said it and it can't happen. Sorry.
Your butthole got real clenchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Okay, but when I was in the Denver airport connecting, because you can't unfortunately fly from Vancouver to Albuquerque.
And Denver's I think it's the biggest airport in the country, by size.
Yes. Well, I saw the most religious affiliation t-shirts I've ever seen in my life. It to the point where I got visibly, I was like, I have to find a corner and put a blindfold on. But I did think of a thing you could do if you're at an airport and you wanted to really get under their skin, but not really do anything that felt aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
That you go up and you go, oh, no way, you're a member of the First Christian Church of Rolling Hills? And then they go, yeah. And you go, oh, wow. Too bad about all that sexual assault stuff that went down there. Then just walk away.
Yeah.
The chances of it actually being true are probably 50%. So just rattle them. And it's not antagonistic. It's just little tisk tisk, little tut tut, as they say in the UK. Okay, so the Alliance Defending Freedom, the far-right Christian nationalist law group that helped overturn Roe v. Wade, is on the case. And Josh Hawley's wife, Erin Hawley, is one of the lead attorneys defending the First Choice Women's Resource Center. At the heart of this case, and all cases brought against crisis pregnancy centers, is
they should literally call it the no choice or the our choice, not yours.
Our choice, not yours. Yeah, because that's what they're doing. The questions are they misleading? Yes. Are they providing fake news? Yes.
Right.
Are they making people who enter through the doors think they are getting a 360 medical opinion about being pregnant? No.
Yeah. Do they wear dynamic fashions? No.
No.
Yeah.
I bet you there's someone with a colorful Lord and Taylor glasses hang though.
Oh God. See, now I'm in.
Yeah. I do think
switched.
this is going to be a huge case because if they can continue to not be regulated and we don't know who's funding these places and we can't do anything about them, it's going to be very bad because crisis pregnancy centers are going to explode across. And I've said this before and I will say it again. Every time I go down Main Street in Vancouver to my fish place, right next to it is a crisis pregnancy center. Why is no one in the fucking most liberal part of town in Vancouver doing anything about this?
And you think it's that same kind of thing?
It's called a crisis pregnancy center.
If that's what those are all called. I'm an idiot.
They're all called that. It's not Planned Parenthood.
Got it.
No, it's not Planned Parenthood.
Okay.
The windows are all black. It's called a crisis pregnancy
No, I believe
center.
you. I didn't know that they were all called that. That makes sense.
Well, I said this also. So I live in Vancouver when I'm up there and I work in Langley. On my way to work every day, I pass a Focus on the Family, a 3-story office building with the Focus on the Family sign. So if you think Canada, you better do something about it now because let us tell you what's going to happen if
We're
you let
writing
that
the
shit.
blueprint.
Yes. So Erin Hawley is foaming at the mouth to get into that court. She said, New Jersey's Attorney General is targeting First Choice, a ministry that provides parenting classes, free ultrasounds, baby clothes, and more to its community simply because of its pro-life views. We are looking forward to presenting our case to the Supreme Court.
Why don't they just sell baby clothes?
Why don't you just help people who already have children?
Yeah.
Because providing parenting classes sounds like cart before horse. Ultrasounds are the predatory thing that they do where they go, look at the heartbeat.
Look at your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's specifically the heartbeat, which is
Right.
how they get them is because, and as we've talked about in the show,
It's so gross.
the heart is you can hear a heartbeat before anything else it's just a clump of cells that makes a little heart and there's nothing else. It's not even a heart. It's an electrical pulse.
Right.
And you know who you can thank for boosting this case of the ADF? Another case of the court, same thing you were talking about earlier. In 2021, the court ruled that California could not require all charities soliciting contributions in the state to report the identities of their major donors while leaving open the possibility of targeted subpoenas. So they are building these blocks. They are building off of the things that have already been in the courts, already been heard by the Supreme Court, and they're going to just rely on this precedent. The ADF also wrote the Mississippi abortion ban that overturned Roe v. Wade. They also won a 2018 Supreme Court case on behalf of anti-abortion pregnancy centers in California. And the Supreme Court then said that the state could not require pregnancy crisis centers to provide patients with information on how to end a pregnancy. How are you talking about a 360-degree view on reproductive health if you're leaving out half of the story?
180 degrees of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now you might see the pattern here. ADF defends its shitty minions in blue states, then wins in the Supreme Court. This is New Jersey and California we're talking about. They're not taking anybody to court into Texas. They're going after the states with the most
Right.
Liberal
Philosophies.
Yeah. And they're just building the foundation for the next case. Democratic, the AG who put out the subpoena in the first place said that this case, about the case, he said, First Choice is looking for a special exception from the usual procedural rules as it tries to avoid complying with an entirely lawful state subpoena. No industry is entitled to that type of special treatment, period. And the court's going to hear arguments of this case this fall. I can't imagine it going well. I mean, I don't want to be like a fucking Bleak House.
No,
Charles
well, you
Dickens'
know
Bleak
what?
House.
Jenny brought something up in the chat that I had forgotten about, that the UK sounds like they're going to decriminalize abortions this week. Even past, I think right now it's up to 23 weeks from what I'm reading. But that is good news.
Yeah.
Like, I'm glad that there's somewhere people doing the right thing.
This is like,
especially in a government, like I don't even think the government in UK, maybe it's just in London, is like not terribly liberal. The sexiest, I should say sexiest, the most attractive person at my high school, a woman who I was friends with. I'm not going to say her name. Gorgeous, stunning, like used to model, okay? Right.
For Foley's ads, but nonetheless.
Yeah.
Went to college, lost her mind, started drinking beer, gained a lot of weight. Okay. I saw her after freshman year. She grabbed me by the shoulders and she said, I've gained the freshman 45. Don't make the same mistakes I did. So
wonderful.
I'm just saying, like, let us be the freshman, the person who's a little bit older than you, who goes to college and says, I became a binge drinker. It's ruining my life. Help yourself. Okay. That's what America is right now. And I'm glad that and I want to see Canada starting to do this stuff, especially British Columbia, fucking Ontario, Quebec. I know Alberta is its own thing, but.
Right. No, Quebec, we don't, that's its own. That's a lost
cause.
I don't think they're funny. Not that you have to be funny to get an abortion. That's not what I'm
No, I think you should. I think you should have to tell a joke first.
One of my private clients told me that, in other countries, one of the countries he came from, like, it is just so not a big deal. Like, abortion isn't a political issue at all.
Well, it used to not be in this country either.
People just talk about it. Like, they'll even be like, oh, yeah, like, my mom had an abortion before she had me, and da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a big deal.
It shouldn't be a big deal. Again, it's control.
Yeah.
And not like Janet Jackson.
No.
That's about her own life. You know what I
right.
mean? She wants control over her own life.
Now, are you watering plants or are you pouring tea? Oh, okay, tea.
I've got my beautiful green tea mix. I know you do, because our agent. Oh, I just spilled all over the place. Josh,
sorry,
his friend in Seattle makes these gorgeous things.
Yeah.
Well, do you ever drink green tea out of him?
He makes them?
His friend in Washington.
I misheard. I didn't listen to the first part.
Well, you're never.
Yeah.
What's new?
Yeah. Yeah. I only know your first name, not your last name. I really only listen to the first part of most things.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of our lady attorneys for being here. Thank you to Sergio for everything. Sergio, you had a recommendation. Can we talk about it?
Oh, yeah. I said Sergio keeps sending me TV recs. And
he sends them to me too, Erin.
But I was like, put them on the show because they're always good. Because that's how I found out about LOL.
I'm a freelancer, so I have a lot of free time. And Erin always wants TV recs. So I, bootleg a bunch of TV shows I have on my site that I see that look interesting. And one of the last ones I sent her was Dame Joanna Lumley from AbFab, who has a new travelogue called Joanna Lumley's Danube. And she literally starts from the beginning of the Danube, where this like little fountain dribbles out and starts the Danube River.
Wow.
And I think there's only 3 episodes, and each episode she stops in all these great places along the Danube and meets people and hears their stories.
That sounds wonderful. What a funny choice for that. I mean, I know Joanna Lumley is not Patsy, but like, it's a funny choice for it. That's cool.
She's very sweet. I didn't realize how many languages she speaks. She speaks in the native tongues of all these people that she stops and talks to.
Wow. There's
a couple rough, sad spots, but overall it's an interesting watch.
I'll definitely check that out.
Is she drunk the whole time?
She does stop at a vineyard at one point and drinks a whole bottle of wine with a gentleman.
If AbFab would have been around today, she would have absolutely had her own wine. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Or cigarettes.
Yes.
Oh God, I would do anything for a carton of cigarettes right now.
Wait, it sounds like, according to the chat, that she's been doing this for a while. She's got one in Iceland.
Miranda had someone over and just like that this week.
Here we go. The thing I've tried to avoid my whole life.
She had a group of people. She had a group of people over, and a couple of them were smoking in her place like it was no big deal. Like she didn't even clock it. Like
that was this season?
Yeah. They didn't even talk about it.
I love that. I actually now I'm on board.
Yeah. And it wasn't even her apartment. That's right. It was Carrie's apartment. She was borrowing Carrie's apartment and she let people smoke.
That's why she didn't care. That's kind of a dick move.
She also ate Carrie's yogurt and her banana.
Which is all the food she had in there?
Listen. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not one to judge that. I think right now I have 6 liters of cold brew. And because
where's your fridge?
Machine. In my living room. It is so sad over here. I can't even tell you.
Have you thought about converting your office into a kitchenette?
I will today.
Yeah.
I need to get
get yourself a hot plate
and an off-brand Smeg fridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That would be cute. I love that story for you.
And ashtrays, obviously.
Thank you to all our lady attorneys for joining us.
Go to patreon.com/attitudes if you'd like to become one. And go to my Instagram if you want to buy, or bryansoffi.com if you want to buy tickets to my show at Edinburgh. If you know anyone who's going to be there, tell them.
And if you get any hot tips on castles, I've got a lot of family that I take care of. So I need at least 6 bedrooms for all the people in my life that I pay for.
Well, I'm performing tonight at a place called the Comedy Chateau.
Oh, that's good.
You could come over there.
In LA?
By the way, it looks like a small castle. And on the front, it says founded in 1964.
And
no, it says the building's been there since 1964.
And it's,
who cares?
Is it Marina Del Rey?
So close. It's like, I think it's in like Studio City, North Hollywood.
Oh, I see it. Oh my God.
That's
it looks like the place Takes on Sunset. Do you know Takes?
Yes,
yeah.
Of course.
Okay, I'm in.
Right.
I'm in. Okay, see you all in the chat.
See you.